I'm going to show how you can use content from Sitecore in Betty Blocks. Betty Blocks is a high productivity, no-code PaaS platform. It's good for rapid created data-driven application, and you don't have to program. Just drag and drop and click. You can create a web application or a mobile app. I have already prepared a Sitecore environment with some content and JSS installed. Here I have a folder with some locations, and here a JSS website with a homepage with a title and a text fields. For getting the locations, I can use GraphQL. I can do it with this query, and I have all locations. And for getting the title and the text, I can use the Sitecore layout services. For using Sitecore content inside Betty Blocks, I can use web services. In Betty Blocks, I create a web services, a new one. I give it a name, demo, give it a host name. Request type JSON, response size JSON, and save. Now I can create some endpoints. I create an endpoint for my GraphQL query and an endpoint for my JSS homepage. First, I'm going to add the endpoint for the GraphQL query. Demo locations. Okay, I need query. I can use it as an URL. If I remove the UI from this one, I get JSON output. Copy this and use it as path. Now I also provide an API key. I can also do it in the header variables, but for now I think the path will work. Response type inred, so it will JSON. I can save it and run the test. And here's my data. Looks good. I can create a custom model. Okay. Close. I want to add an extra endpoint. This is my custom model. Endpoints. I add a new endpoint. This one is my demo homepage. It was my query. Save and test. So this is my JSS output. It's very complex, but let's see if Betty Blocks can use it. Create a custom model. Success. Now I have endpoints and I can use the data inside Betty Blocks. Now I'm going to make a data model for my location data. That's one of the powerful things of Betty Blocks. You can create your own data model. So you can create a relational data model, but for now I only need a simple table. So I do a new one. It's called my demo locations. Properties, I can add a single line text. This is my location name, label, like it's optional, save. Close. Here's my demo locations. Now I'm going to create a view on my demo locations table, so I can take a look in there. I go to the back office, and here I can go to the builder mode. I can add a grid. Choose a model, demo locations, columns. Save. The column. Test. Okay, now I have a view on my table, and I've put inside one record with test. I saw there were also some extra columns with the date. Maybe I can also show the date. Plus created at. So to get the data from Sitecore and put it in the table, I can use a function, an action. It's the same logo as action functions, but here it's called an action. I create a new action. It's my demo. I get locations. Run it in the background. Yeah, I'm gonna execute it manually, so I leave this. Now I add a web services call. So I pay request. Leave my demo web services, and I use the demo locations call. Response as item. Maybe I can call it demo locations. And now I can create a loop. So I can loop throughout the locations and save them in my table. a loop. Go my demo locations. Children, I think, yeah, select. And now I need something to save it in the database. Yeah, create demo location. Location name. Item print name. Oh. Well, I can run it. It was running in the background, so it is very fast. But let me see if something has happened in my table. The table locations. And over here you see all new locations. It took me 5 minutes to write it and record it on video. So I think it is pretty fast to create this page. Now I want to use this data in a web page. So I go to my page, I create a new page. I choose, well, something with a header and a footer. 2 columns. Hello world, sounds good. Choice. Add. It's my demo core CSS. Now I have a page. I can change the text if I want. But I can also add a data table with my data. I put it in this column. Choose the demo locations. Okay, now I have a page. I want location. On this page I can place a data table. Finish. Now I can preview it. And I have my data on this page. For getting the title and the text, I directly call Sitecore. I stop the preview. I can go to the settings and do some actions when this page is visited. I can call web services. Activate request. My demo web services, and now I use my demo homepage endpoint. Response als for home. page. And now I can add a label with this data. Not working because I'm recording and things are slow. And for this label, I can use my Sitecore homepage and select my title. That's and I can preview it. I have, label need to be removed. Slow because I'm recording it. Remove the label text. Now it should be fine. I can also access it as a web page. We go to settings. I found the URL. Here's my text from Sitecore. If I go to my Sitecore and I change the text, homepage item title, demo, edit the text. I can add some extra text, add some text. I publish it. And now, when I do a refresh, I should show the new text. So that's the way we can use content from Sitecore in Betty Blocks. And with Betty Blocks, you can build pretty cool applications without coding. So this is the way to build fast applications. There are a lot of players in it very fast-growing low-code market, like Mendix, OutSystem, Salesforce, and of course, Microsoft's Power Apps. Strong points for Betty Blocks are it's no-code instead of low-code from other platforms. and you can create a good related data model, and you pay per app instead of per user. When you use Sitecore and Betty Blocks together, you have a very good content management system and a fast way of building data-driven mobile applications. It was super cool to work with Betty Blocks. I like it. There are other ways than JSS to connect with Betty Blocks, like SXA with JSON output, custom APIs, or just a Sitecore device with JSON output. GraphQL and JSS are my favorites, and in a lot of cases, the best options.